standing, we'll join together in the pledge to the flag. Let's bow together. Father, we glorify your name. Thank you for this day. We thank you that Commissioner Holmes is back in attendance with us today. We ask your continued blessings on him and his family. Give them strength. Ask that you direct everything that we say and do during the next few moments in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Let's pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We do appreciate your attendance today. Thank you for being interested in the business of our county. We appreciate your making the efforts to join us today. We have no scheduled comment from citizens, no awards or presentations, but we have some other elected officials here. We'd like to recognize them and invite their input at this time. If they so choose, we'll start on the back row with Chuck Patterson. Chuck, do you have anything to share?
I'd just like to say that everything's going really well in the revenue office. We're $600,000 uncollected out of 12.6 million, so we're good. And we've got we're sending out notices next month. We're okay.
Very good. Thank y'all. Judge, do you have anything today?
No, things are good in the probate office right now, no complaints.
It's because Chuck is keeping his group quiet, isn't it? That helps, doesn't it? Yeah.
Whatever works.
All right. Sheriff, do you have anything right now?
That's
All right. We do appreciate y'all joining us today. Commissioners, the first item is the consent agenda. We need to approve the minutes for the January 11 meeting, the regular meeting. You had received those minutes by email, and I'm sure you had a chance to review them. I'll ask if there are any corrections or edits to make, or if there's a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Anybody else have something to bring up or to correct on those? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, those are approved. We have nothing under old business at this time. There is a lingering item or two, and we'll bring those back at an appropriate time. Under new business, I asked Karen if she will to share with us about the first item, which is consider appropriation for Bethesda House. Pages 2 through 6 in your packet.
We received a request from Bethesda House for an appropriation. They did not specify an amount. They would appreciate anything that y'all are willing to appropriate to them at this time. Ms. Allison Jackson Wood has been in touch with me and sent additional documents about the board and their budget for y'all to consider. And they understand also that this is not budget time, and they understand that it may be a different constraint now since budgets have already been passed.
This agency or this entity has been established for quite some time, but it did take them a little while to get their feet on the ground. I know that in the last year or so, they've been able to hire Allison, that you talked about, to be executive director, and she's certainly a very capable administrator. I think the oversight is in good hands. They have a strong board that's involved at this time, and they certainly meet a need. It's very quiet. It's off the radar. They're meeting the needs of a number of women, children who find themselves typically in an abusive situation, need somewhere to get away. And I think it certainly would be appropriate if we would step up, support them at some level, and give them some time to get further funding and stability in their operation.
How has the commission done it in the past?
If they received anything, it would have been an appropriation at budget time previously, but they had a window of 2 or 3 years from an old operation trying to revive it under new leadership that I think was much needed, and it just took them a while. But there used to be extensive federal funding that was involved. I don't remember the commission participating in recent years.
We have not.
But again, they're just trying to get the ball rolling, and they are already meeting needs of some of the families in the community. The number's not big, but the need's great.
Do they serve just the people of Covington County, or
No, I think they also reach out to
surrounding counties?
Yeah, don't they? Yeah. tell you where they're located. That's part of their operation, is to be very discreet and, but I'll tell you this effort has a long history here. I would say that it's been operating at under some name or some umbrella for probably 25 years or so. And for a long time it was in op. Again, I don't know where it is at this present time, but so the needs have been met. Since the needs were being met, we didn't hear a lot out of them. But the last 3 or 4 years, I think the need has become obvious again because there wasn't anyone in place to help answer the call, and this group now is set to do that. I think it'd be appropriate for us to consider something like a $10,000 appropriation, more or less. We can do it out of our what is it? Contingency fund if
It's
we chose
only
to.
10,000, the contingency is
I thought there was a larger.
you'd have to do it out of the separate one that y'all had, excess funds in. But the contingency fund itself, it operates on 10,000.
But
It's a lot.
I mean, I don't,
We can do less, we can do, just,
I mean, I'm willing to do 1,500, 2,500 out of our contingency fund and work some other way to do it because I don't want to deplete that.
yeah.
Cause it's too early in the year to start using that money. And if there's other way to, later on, that we could do something and we seen some way that we could support it, you know, it'd be a different
Let
thing.
me mention, they did offer to come and make a presentation to the group, and so they'll be glad to do that if you wanna let Karen set that up in the next couple of months, maybe 6 or 8 weeks from now, then that'd give them a chance to bring us up to date on what they're doing.
I know this was a needed, I know it's been used, I knew when it was working in op,
The Opportunity
And,
House was the name
it was-
people knew.
it was needed, and then it just kind of issues happened with it, it fell apart, I reckon you might say. And so, but that's my
I
thoughts on
certainly
it.
agree. I think it's a very worthwhile and needed thing, and I didn't know the amounts. One thing after getting the agenda that I looked over, and I maybe should have talked a little more, but I certainly have no issue with $10,000. I think that's and like Kenneth, if we can work it around where we could give some out of our own funds, I'd be willing to do that as well.
Well, maybe the thought is to give 2,400 per fund at this time, and then, but if they come back for a presentation, we can check with Karen and see what other funding is available and maybe do more, at least consider more at that time.
That's what I think, I mean, I think somewhere maybe around 25 that we could do, and then later, you know,
Just
see how this
revisit.
works, see what we can do, because I mean, it's not, we don't need to jump out there and use up, cause we've done that before, years ago, and it come back hauling us bad, cause we had some things we had to have that money for, and we didn't have it, had to reappropriate stuff, and it didn't work good.
So, 20, how much is in the contingency?
10,000.
10,000, so there's 10,000 to 2,000 per commissioner in the contingency, so that from,
That's two different things. Contingency fund is, there's contingency line item under y'all's
Alright.
commission, and then
and
there's
then
contingency fund.
all right. Which one's the,
10,000
10,000.
is the contingency
I would just say
fund.
it out of our regular contingency fund,
Okay,
take
and that's what he's
25
saying.
out of
Okay.
the contingency.
all right, so you'll make that as a motion?
I do.
All right, so there is a motion for 2,500 at this time, and then consider further action at a later date when we see what funding's available, see
And
what.
see
their
how this
operation
thing
looks
works, how it
Okay.
takes off, and what it's,
Okay,
what's going on, kind of,
Watch
once
the
it gets
progress.
moving and rolling, see what can be done and which direction it could be helped with.
I would
Always,
like to
always
bring her back.
revisit later in the year.
I'd like to bring her back in maybe in 90 days and let her do a presentation for us.
Sure. I second his
All right,
motion.
there's a motion and a second. Any other thoughts on it, comments? All right, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, so that, we would like to maybe invite her in 90 days or so. Okay. Next item is consider modified purchase method for appraisal trucks. Here, we're gonna put you on the spot again and ask you to share with us on that.
Okay, a bid was awarded on May 25th, 2021 for appraisal trucks, 2 appraisal trucks to be purchased from J.M. Jackson. They were awarded that bid. Mr. Johnny Jackson has been in touch with us, and he's unable to fulfill that order, so we need to reject that bid at this time, and I believe Mr. Patterson is exploring the option of going on off-state bid with Stivers Ford, and he's got the need for 2 F-150 pickup trucks. And I believe y'all may have that on the side that was added later.
Have you checked with Stivers? Are they able to deliver trucks at this time?
I called them, I'm gonna call them the day after y'all, and y'all see.
Just, it's an unusual time when you can't buy vehicles and stuff, so. So there, she said we need to reject the, original bid and then give approval to move on to the state bid, which is appropriate to purchase the 2 trucks. Anybody have comments on that, or you wanna make a motion to that effect?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to that effect.
All right, so, motion to reject and then buy off state bid, is there a second?
I'll second.
Questions from anyone? Anybody have anything for Chuck? Been lingering this time, isn't it, Chuck?
I didn't hear what you said, but these are 2011 trucks that we're driving, there's possibly getting close to 200,000 miles on them, and repairs are starting. And we do have them sold, I think, to the county, they need them, Kevin needs them, so we'll sell them to them and then we use them here in town.
Okay. All right, anything else? If not, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. So, hope you have success filling that order off state bid. Request to approve, out-of-state travel for the sheriff's department. The information is on page 8 in your packet. Sheriff, you wanna address that, or just go?
School, one of our officers needs it. It's out of state.
This one is the one in, Atlanta, is that right? Is there a motion to?
It's 2 deputies, Mark Odom and Nick Ireland are signed up to attend.
They'll be fielded together,
So, is there a motion to approve this out-of-state travel for, class? 2 deputies, 1 vehicle.
I'll make a motion.
All right.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Anything else? Questions? Comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. All right. Next is, consider purchase of dump trucks. Lynn, there are about 3 items, I think, that are under your section. Why don't you just come up and address those?
The first is for the dump trucks. They've already put trucks back for us on this, but we just didn't get approval, for the purchase of these trucks. I think like $154,000 we had budgeted for these trucks this year.
This
so.
is under the county joint bid program,
Yes, it is.
and they're able to deliver them as far as you know? We're hopeful, huh?
We hope so, because our auctions come in March, I think the 8th or the 15th, we gotta have these trucks up there.
This is, 5 trucks?
5 trucks.
Okay.
Have they got all the dump,
Yes,
everything? I know one time that was the issue, wasn't the truck?
yes. That was COVID that caused most of that the last time, yes. But I think everything's, or our salesman says they're on track.
Yeah. What kind of dump body do these have? Do you know?
They're ox bodies,
Okay.
our standard
Hmm.
bodies.
Are any of these you gonna remove the body off of any one of these, or no? To
No.
make your, okay.
And the sales, they should bring hopefully up a lot. They're saying it's gonna be probably a record year auction this year for these trucks. So we should get a lot of money for these trucks.
It's about $640,000 worth of purchase here.
Yep.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'm literally hoping with the commission, we'll actually, we'll have run these trucks for 2 years and get new ones at no cost.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. So,
Hopefully.
Motion to approve ordering these off of, the joint county bid.
Make a motion. Approve.
there a second?
Second.
Anybody else have questions for Lynn or comments on this? And it is budgeted. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. Next, Lynn.
The motor graders, that's talking about motor graders, you know, we actually, you know, went ahead early to kind of account for what we're talking about these dump trucks, which I'm hoping they're gonna be the same way. But, they're looking at maybe November. These graders gotta be turned in, I think, second, third week of February. And they're talking about November getting these graders, our new ones in.
And we ordered them. You remember
We ordered them way in advance because of this.
Around
They,
August,
but I mean, it's just the way, things are, but, we need to solicit bids for a lease agreement, cause it's gonna be a considerable amount of money, so we gotta put it out to bid. But, and we'll get bids on those motor graders.
And you have some, in other words, you're looking at leasing some used ones
Yes.
instead of new ones and,
Yes.
and just getting some that are coming out of another county or city or
Yes.
contract, whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it possible that we could just lease the ones we have?
No, they gotta be turned in. We've already been down that road.
Pursued that, didn't you?
Yes.
Where are we at with them? Can we about used up hours on them, haven't we?
One, we've down to 100, they're getting real close. Luckily we've been hit, we've had a part for about a month, but the rest of them are out running, but they're getting short on hours too, so it's gonna hit about right.
Didn't leave a lot on the table.
No, we didn't, but you know, we based off past year's hours, and it's just the way it worked out.
You think you can get a short-term lease to get you till
Yes,
October or
Yeah.
whenever the other delivery takes place?
yes. I know one of the vendors have already called, he's got some being turned in from another county that we can maybe work with if they bid it.
Are you looking at 5, 4, 6? How many are you wanting to lease?
Every time we can get from them.
Up to the number we have in our fleet
We're
now?
gonna shoot for 7
Okay.
at a minimum, what we have now. so.
Okay. So he needs approval to solicit bids for short-term motor grader lease to get us through the season is what it amounts to, isn't it?
Yes,
At least 7, possibly another 1 or 2 to give
yes.
you
And
the
we
work.
budgeted the time, it just may not be a new machine. I mean, the lease, we've considered the leases.
The operational cost is already in
Yes.
there. The lease payment would already be in
Mhm.
there at some level.
Yeah. And it'll put us into next year, we can budget
The
again.
ones coming in, the ones we're waiting for delivery on, those are a purchase, not a lease, or those?
No, those are
lease?
leased.
They're
Yeah.
lease also, okay. Is there a motion?
But they're not gonna be available until
November.
November.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not guaranteed, but what if they were to come up sooner and this overlaps? Is
Well,
there-
we'll work that on the lease agreement with when we, write the spec on the bid for that. But yeah, we're looking, that's several months, it's about 10 months delay that we're expecting them to come in at the same time we get ready to turn these other ones in, so. It's just the world we live in today.
Let's set a number, a maximum number of graders that you're gonna
7, it'll be
solicit
7.
bids. Okay. Is there, okay. So is there a motion to approve soliciting bids for a short-term lease on 7 graders?
I do.
Motion, is there a second?
I second.
Second. Any other questions, comments? All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Good. All right. Glad you're able to get an answer to hold us till October, November, December, whenever it is. All right, next.
It's just the award for the, seed and fertilizer. I believe it was, Andalusia Farmers Co-op on that, just need to get approval for that, awarding that bid.
Are prices up a lot on fertilizer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just checking, just asking.
Yeah.
Well, I understand.
Yeah, nitrogen's about, I think, 900 a ton now. I mean, it's pretty high, about double, pretty close to double.
Is it? Okay. What about the other things, like seed? Is that typically
Everything,
increased as well?
everything's up.
Anything
Oh, yeah.
ag-related?
Yep.
Okay.
And Roundup, believe it or not, Roundup's, up more than over 200% on Roundup, for what we were getting last year. And the availability is getting
Can't even-
hard, can't even hardly get it. So our herbicide program's gonna be hurting, this year, and, mowing and everything else is we're gonna have to do a lot more mowing than what we've had in the past.
Okay.
I just see it being a problem, so.
Our fuel costs gonna go up,
Yeah.
our fertilizer costs, our, all that, everything.
It's like a budget buster almost.
If you're gonna have to do more mowing, do you have the equipment to do that, or we need to look at?
We do, but
lease
we'll see if things don't work out, we may have to take on another, maybe another used tractor or something from at the surplus yard.
Okay.
We've got some spare, bush hogs already, so we may need another tractor.
So you guys, have seen the results on page 11 of the seed fertilizer bid. Is there a motion to award the bid to the sole bidder? Were they the only bidder?
I believe so, yes.
Farmers Co-op.
I'll make a motion.
All right.
Second.
Second. Well, question, if not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, that's awarded. We'll let you notify them and start buying.
Okay.
Why don't you give us a report on roads?
Yeah.
I got one more item.
Okay, it's not on there? No, it's not on
And I
there.
forgot the amount of trucks we're looking at now, I believe.
6.
Six trucks, is that correct? Yeah. It's a budget item we have,
Yeah.
some F-250s, but because of the, we gotta actually lock this in before the 31st of the month, because they're not taking any more orders for 2022. We just need to, Stivers is where we're getting these trucks from.
You better hurry up and get your order in, Chuck, before he gets his order in.
Are they half-ton trucks?
3/4 ton, these are 3/4 for the Foremans. But it says basically the attachment specs, so that it matches a batch of F-250s that we currently have in order with the Ford order bank. Ford is not allowing any more orders for 2022 year models, and we'll close out our PO verifications after January 31st. So that means that we would lose any F-250s beyond that time, so we got to get them ordered. But they're 32,000, and we budget, I think, 30,000 for the trucks, but we need to get those in. We got some trucks for 300,000 miles on them. So,
And again, Stivers is supplying under the state bid,
Yes.
not the county joint bid. So is there a motion to approve ordering 6 vehicles under the state bid? And recognizing that it's about a $12,000 increase to the budget line to get it. And when do you think delivery will come on these? Do you have an idea?
I think in May, they said in May.
Okay, that's good.
That's pretty quick on those.
All right,
Yes, I'll make that motion.
all right. Tony, motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Michael? Questions on this? All in favor say aye.
Yeah.
Opposed, same sign. All right, that's approved.
We're gonna see how good their commercials are on TV.
I guess so.
They told, they got plenty of them, so we're gonna see.
All right, what else, Lynn?
That's really it. I'm pleased to announce that we have reached an agreement on the purchase of the property. So there's a few little minor things we're trying to just get worked out as far as, there's a whole checklist. And there's a few more things we've gotta do, right away 12, 25E. There's just a few more things we gotta to do, but we got the deed worked up. I'm gonna let Stephen look at it this week.
The things that have to be worked out between us and the company?
No, as far as the
Just
purchase, will be
related to the
fine, it's
project.
just the tail end stuff of us finishing,
Okay.
but, no, we'll have this, hopefully this property bought here over within the next 10 days, I would love to have it
And
next
so
10
then you
days.
expect,
But state called us, I think Wednesday of last week, and they agreed
okay.
with the amount.
Good.
They countered back with us, and we were happy with the counter,
Okay.
and the state was too, so
And
we're,
so we will, if we get the deed in 10 days, if that develops, and it should, then you think you'll be doing land clearing, growing?
absolutely.
Within 11 or 12 days? 14? Hopefully
I would
before-
hope, I won't give a
within a couple of
timeline,
weeks.
but yeah, we're gonna be blowing and going as soon as it gets here.
All right.
So,
Good report, thank you. Anybody have questions? Let me mention one thing, we saw press recently where the governor's office had announced the award of grants for some streets in the city of Andalusia and town of Lockhart. We're very pleased to see those funds come into Covington County. They're not in the rural roads that we have a responsibility for, but it certainly helps our communities and our county as a whole. Those funds are very limited, so it's competitive, so it's good that they were able to pull those there. Lynn and I were talking earlier, a lot of times those come under ADECA, these were under ADECA, and that requires low to moderate income areas to be serviced, and we've just about worked through low to moderate income areas as far as what we can get funding for through ADECA, so we have to look for other sources. you know, we're getting the Rebuild Alabama money, and occasionally the governor's office has some discretionary funds that, I guess every year, that she gives a few grants to under Rebuild, so it doesn't have those restrictions. So we're keeping an application in place, trying to get funding in the rural parts of our county as well. But we do congratulate those communities on those grants, and that helps all of us.
There's two different grants through the rebuild. There's one that basically attaches any city with any state highways for any kind of modifications to intersections and things like that. And we typically don't apply for those because we don't really have any, we don't have anything in those areas. But now the other, which we just got through doing our 101, we're only gonna one of few counties, to receive that grant. I guess it was last year. And we've applied again for that one, for another road, one or two roads here in the county, so. But we are seeking those revenues, we are putting in those applications in, hopefully to get them again.
And I know you're also working on a project in partnership with Florella on an industrial access.
Yes.
Grant that we hope will be successful, so. If nothing else, anybody have questions for Lynn while he's there? Okay. Thank you. Any other department heads have anything to share? Okay. Ms. Carey?
I do. The arena this weekend, we're gonna have Southeast Stock Course Association out for their cow horse shootout. It starts from 9 to noon for coached cow practice, and at 1 p.m. they're gonna do their cow horse shootout. Everyone's invited to attend. There's no cost or admission. Saturday at the arena.
I've never heard of a shootout.
Well.
Can you describe it?
Stephanie,
No?
could you describe that?
I don't know anything about that.
I think we all need to go so we'll know what we're talking about. Okay. All right, that's it?
That's it.
Ms. Stephanie, you have anything? Okay. Commissioners, what do y'all?
Eric, I have one
Yeah, all
more
right.
thing. I've got it with me, but I'm just gonna give you a heads up. I do have a draft copy of our driveway policy, our new driveway policy I have adopted. I was gonna give to y'all after the meeting that we can review and maybe
So
bring it for discussion at the
you
next.
say that we have adopted or you'd like to have?
I have one
you'd
I'd
like
like to have adopted.
Okay.
I was
Just want
talking
to make sure I didn't miss
tomorrow.
something. Okay. Thanks, Lynn. Yeah. Commissioners, have anything? Tony, it's good to see you back.
You what now?
It's good to see you back.
I'm proud to be back.
I know you are. If there is nothing else, a motion to adjourn would be in order.